the event itself is We Stand America. It deals with, you know, the narrative right now is all national security, national security. Okay, that's a federal responsibility.
Yeah.
What about domestic security? Nobody talks about domestic security. I mean, in the sense that we're talking about it. That's state and local governments. That's the sheriffs, the chiefs of police, the state DPS, the governors, the legislators, the county commissioners, those folks. So when it comes to trying to manage a state, you have to take ownership of the elections. Now, elections belong to the people. They don't belong to the government.
Right.
If that's the case, then when you get jokers like this Clyburn guy out of South Carolina, wants to federalize the elections. We can't trust the people with their elections. Think about what that idiot just said, okay? There's this thing called the Ninth Amendment. The rights of the people can't be disparaged. There's this thing called the 10th Amendment. All those powers not enumerated for the federal government are left to the states or to the people.
Exactly right.
So if you don't have operational control of your border, which we don't have in Arizona or in Texas, we're told we do, but quite frankly, Mayorkas is nothing but a liar. And his boss is nothing but a liar. Right. Okay? We do not have a closed border. We have a border where people are pouring across our border. Drugs are pouring into this country. Individuals who have no regard for life, who carry out crimes against persons, I mean, you look at the statistics and they're off the charts. We had a press release, or a press conference earlier today with Ken Cuccinelli and some of the members of the House that we're calling on the governor of this state, of Arizona, to exercise his purview under the National Guard, his authority as Commander-in-Chief of the State National Guard, to exercise that authority to resist an invasion. We can do that when the federal government refuses to act.
Right.
So, but more importantly, the event in McAllen, Texas, which is coming up the 28th and 29th, is We Stand America. And we are going to engage in a border tour. The following day, that's on the 29th. On the 28th, 28th is the border tour. On the 29th, Saturday, we're going to have a day-long skull session with people like General Flynn, Tom Homan, Admiral Chuck Kubik, Ann Vandersteel, a lady by the name of Karen Kingston. We've also got Sam Sorbo. Individuals who are going to examine 5 pillars of how do we support a democratically elected but constitutional Republican form of government, okay? But this is going to be different. Not only are we going to deliver content around, these are the things that are broken. These are the things that could be done to repair them. And by the way, you're not leaving here without a to-do list.
I like that.
Okay? So my vast majority of my life, as long as I can remember, I've always been that guy who lives by the rule, make a list, prioritize, and execute. Okay? So if we've got a list of things that are broken, and a list of things that need to be done, great, make the list, and then, you know, try and reorganize that list to what's the most important. Sometimes it's what's the low-hanging fruit that you can solve a whole bunch of other problems with. And then the big part is execute. So what we plan to do with folks who are going to be attending this is for Saturday's part of the event. They're going to get a 14-step plan that's broken out into 7 weeks, 2 things a week. At the end of 7 weeks, you'll be able to speak directly to your county supervisors, your county commissioners, your legislators, your governor, and say, this is the law that we want you to pass. Now imagine if you have 500 people showing up at the Capitol, all speaking with one voice. That's why we're calling it We Stand America, okay? When you have 17 states that have already looked at adopting the language for the Ballot Fraud Countermeasures Program, which, by the way, I can give you a brief on that. But when you have 17 states out of 26 that have already stepped up and said, we want to do this, you find 9 more, now you have 26. You have majority of states. How cool is that?
Very cool.
So you're now creating, I think, a cause of action for the 26 who have passed things like an audit trail, watermarks on the ballots, a QR code on the ballot so that you, the voter, can scan that code, get the number for it, and then after the polls have closed, go out through a third-party user interface and see an image of your ballot. You can't do that today.
No.
You also will be able to verify that that is the way you voted and that somebody hasn't substituted your ballot in the system or swapped it out or somehow trashed it. So, that's one thing that we're going to be promoting, but it's a call to action, and it's more than just a call to action. It's giving people actionable things they can do so that when they go home, they can do them.